Welcome back to IGN Live. I'm Brian. I'm here with Philip and Florent from Vampyr. Welcome back to E3. Last year, your game was one of our most popular games. The fans are crazy for it. We've got an extended look at it right now. We've got even more of it on IGN and YouTube, but we're going to take a look at a big part of your new demo, everything you brought to E3 this year. So tell me about Vampyr.
So Vampyr is a narrative-driven action RPG set in 1980 in London. So at this period of time, the whole Europe is there is a Spanish flu that strikes the entire Europe and especially London. So this is quite a chaos in the city, mostly a ghostly city. And in this particular setting, you play the Dr. Jonathan Reed, an eminent physician who just became a vampire and who is now compelled to sacrifice human lives in order to survive and grow stronger.
Is he okay with being a vampire? This seems like something that would take you a little bit of time to get used to.
Well, he will learn his new condition little by little. So he will have to make choices throughout the course of the game. And it's really depending how the players want to play the game, want to be the vampire they want it to be. So you will have many choices to do, with consequences, of course.
And he will like to tell lies. You have to kill people, to embrace them, to drink their blood, and to live with the choices he made.
Now you have to drink their blood to stay alive.
You have to, and what's interesting in our game, it's the citizen's blood that you need to drink in order to evolve. In Vampyr, you don't level up by killing enemies. You level up by killing NPCs.
Oh,
so it's a great sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's why you have a lot of choices to make, because amongst all the citizens of the game, you will have to sacrifice some of them.
You guys are twisted.
Yeah.
I love that hook. That's great.
Yeah.
So, but you do have the option of playing pacifist, right? I mean, you can. So what do you do for that? Do you just get blood from a blood bank?
So you can decide to kill no one. That's possible, but it means that the game will be more difficult.
Right.
Because you don't have that much XP. So you have two options.
You're weaker, right?
Yeah.
Effectively. Yeah.
You have two options. You can fight a lot in order to try to make up for the level. Or you can try to investigate on the citizens and collect all the hints, all the citizens, and that will provide you XP also. So if you take time to investigate on the lives of the citizens, it's another way to evolve.
Oh, wow.
So here, as you can see in the demo, for example, the player is following the citizens he wants to bite, and he's trying to learn a little bit more about their lives, about themselves. So here he's got some vampiric abilities, and as you can see, he can look the world in a different way and see that the people here are stressed, they are hiding something, and thanks to his power, he can eavesdrop what's happening.
Wow.
So that allows you to learn more about your future victim.
Yeah, what's important in the game it's that all the citizens of the game have a name, a story, they all have relationships and secrets. So you can investigate on their lives to dig up their most intimate secrets.
Well, doesn't that make you feel bad when you have to take their blood?
You should, I think.
Yeah. Because they all are complex characters. There are no only black or white characters.
Right.
There are a lot of gray characters.
There's a lot of gray area,
yeah.
Now, this is really cool. Here, what we're seeing is that sort of dynamic camera to bring you inside, give you a glimpse at their lives, and pull out. Do we get to see a lot of stuff like that in the game, this sort of peeking behind the curtain of how these people live?
Yeah, most citizens have their secrets, they have hidden stories. And by talking to them, or by just, as we see in the demo, eavesdropping them, you will learn a lot of these secrets. And thanks to these secrets, you will be able to make your choice. Is it a good person? A bad person? Do I want to take this life or not? And you will use that information to unlock new content, unlock new information, new stories, or gameplay options.
Now, did you guys do a lot of research on the time period and the inventions and the sort of the attitude, the mood of what it was like to be around during this time?
Yeah, we've made a lot of researches. What's interesting with 1918, it's a period of dramatic changes. there are a lot of science and medical discoveries
Right.
at this period of time. And but also, this is when the Spanish flu strike in England, so it's very rich in terms of context, and that was very interesting to tell the story of a vampire doctor who tried to heal people, but at the same time has to sacrifice some of them if he wants to.
So
if
he can
wants to
keep
be
going.
born.
That's an immensely complex amount of weight to sort of put on the player too, because they are sitting there going like, I want to help people, but I can't use that without hurting some of them.
That's exactly what we want. And here, the player is talking to Stella. She's a citizen in the game, a mother of another character in the game. And here, the player, as you will see, will take her life. So it's a big responsibility. And what we want is that we don't want to judge player. We don't want to give them incentive. Is it good? Is it bad?
Right.
We want them to make their choice and to feel the morality of that or not. You can be a psychopath if you want. But
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So say a player wanted to just go in there, teeth out and just start destroying everybody.
you will have your own experience in that way.
And what sort of ramifications will that have on the entire on the game, on the town, the conditions of everyone there?
Well, in fact, all the districts of the game have what we call the health quality. So the more healthy, the better. But the more you kill citizens, the more the health quality will decrease. And if you reach the critical threshold, then the entire district will be lost, which means all the citizens will be reported missing.
Right.
Their quest will be lost, and the place will fill with other vampire creatures, dangerous creatures of the
nasty
night.
creatures.
So basically, if you kill all of the citizens of the game, you will lost all the districts. It will be a complete chaos. But still, you will be able to finish the game and get the ending you deserve.
But then you'll be very powerful and full of all that delicious blood.
Yeah.
You will forge your own experience. You will be more powerful, but you will have more powerful enemies.
It feels like people who play in sort of very diametric ways are going to experience this game entirely differently.
Yeah.
It almost feels like two different games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we want to do with this game.
So now, do authorities become alerted when things start to disappear, when people start to vanish?
There's another kind of authority, which is the enemies that you face in the game. They are called the Guard of Priwen, and they are some sort of vampire hunters, some sort of militia, some sort of
secret
clan.
faction.
Yeah.
So they are hunting vampires, you included.
Now, you mentioned some creatures in the game, which
there
I
are
hopefully
also-
won't see because I'm going to try to be a little nicer than that.
There
But-
are also some what we call skulls, which are lesser species of vampires.
Okay.
Degenerated.
Yeah, they have suffered heavy mutations because of the Spanish flu, so they have became really aggressive. And this is part of your quest to understand how they became such creature and ultimately find a cure to heal them.
Now, what are we looking at right here? Is this the sort of
This is the evolution menu. It's a work in progress, but as you can see, on the top right corner is the XP you have accumulated so far, and you can spend it into one of the ability that you want, and thus you will make the ability evolve.
And now the XP came from blood.
From blood.
Yeah,
exactly.
That seems to be the central currency of this
Yeah.
game. And now using that XP, you can bring it into that menu. Is that done specifically from his bed? It's like a place where he can just sit down and
it's
relax.
a place where you can rest.
Not
There are
drink
many
any
of
blood
them
for a
in
little
the,
bit.
it's called a hideout.
Yeah.
And there are many of them in our game.
Now, are there, can you unlock them? Can you make them?
Yeah, you have to unlock them. You have to discover them in the world. So they are hidden, and you have to explore the world, find the secrets of their placement, and access to it.
It's a semi-open world, so it's really open with different districts to visit. A lot of mysteries because we have created an entire new lore. So our world is really specific to vampire.
Which was nice because it's like you've taken the idea of a classic sort of iconic movie villain character thing in the vampire, and you've turned it on its head and created this brand new world for it. What was it like to sort of take the tenets of what somebody understands a vampire to be, and then bring it into this entirely new world that you guys created from scratch?
Sorry, I'm not sure to understand the
Well, so
question.
basically, like, you're taking a classic vampire,
Yeah.
right? But you're giving your own spin on it. Were there certain things about vampires that you decided to leave behind? There's the old like garlic and the cross and stuff like that. It's almost like corny at this point. But how much of that were you sort of able to bring in and keep away? You know,
Well,
what are his weaknesses?
What we wanted to do is to go back to the Gothic figure of the vampire, you know, like Dracula and this very dark figure. So our vampire won't sparkle under sunlight, for instance. And after that, the myth of the vampire is so huge, so large, that there are a lot of rules possible. And we've decided to pick up the rules that we believed make sense for our game, and we applied them.
So
like
you
the
made-
possibility to, sorry, like
So you made your own vampire based on picking and choosing the things from the
that's
lore
right.
that you love the most.
for instance, one feature of the game is to enter in someone's house, you need to get the formal invitation of the owner.
And so and that's a sort of a classic vampire trope. So you guys brought that in too.
Yeah.
But then there's the other one of like he can turn into like a vampire can turn into a bat. Did you guys decide to bring that one in?
You want
Good,
the
because that would have been
incarnate,
weird.
No, our vampire has a physical representation, which means it can't disappear, it can transform into an animal, it has to keep a consistency.
Now we're
But as
looking
you
at some
can
combat
see-
here.
Yeah.
This sort of flamethrower weapon that this guy has, is this something that is, you know, kind of based on things they had around the same time period?
Yeah, absolutely. And all the vampire hunters have developed a gear very specific to chase down vampires. So fire, obviously, is very effective against vampire, but also wooden stakes or chemical grenades, this kind of stuff.
He seems to be spilling a lot of blood on the floor. It's like he's wasting his food. So, is it always nighttime in your game?
Yeah, it's always nighttime. Yeah.
Can he see his reflection in a mirror?
Yes, he can see himself
Oh.
in a mirror.
So that's really cool. So you kept the sunlight thing, but you got rid of the reflection thing. This is what I'm trying to drill down to because I think this is really cool. The way you guys have built this character and this world based on stuff that you know, classic vampire ideas, and then bold new ones.
Yeah.
So you said the game is sort of semi-open world. It's got large sort of playground sections that players can explore. Will they sort of in the narrative be able to move from one to another?
Yeah, the world is totally open. We say semi-open world because it's not a large scale as a GTA would do.
Right.
What we try to do is really focus on a human scale because the player is human. He is vampire, obviously, but he doesn't have a vehicle or, you know. So we really wanted to scale the world according to the player and according to the citizens he will meet. So we try to find the right balance between having a big enough world and having it filled with content, with stories, with quests that you can explore.
And combat situations also can be approached differently depending on your playstyle. So you can decide to rush into the melee or decide to avoid all the combat situations in all the free roaming sections if you want to. So
Now-
you have spells like this one
That lets you just sort of escape.
to hide yourself into shadows.
Which
And
allows you to play more of a stealth-based character.
You have different paths of evolution in the game. You can go full animal, full instinct, basically, where you can get powers very brutal, or you can follow the shadow evolution.
And now we saw one of the sort of like quick teleporting moves there to how much of that sort of interaction comes into play with the traversal in this game. Is there a lot of verticality? Is there scaling rooftops and
You won't be able to get in every rooftop.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I see you're thinking a bit large, but no, you have a lot of verticality in the game.
Oh, cool.
Some traversal for combat situations or for exploration.
both interiors and exteriors, underground. So lots of many areas to discover.
But don't you have to be invited into everything?
You have to get invited in someone's house, someone who owns the property.
But it doesn't count for like a bar or
No,
a
it doesn't
restaurant.
count for a bar because it's
Not for
public.
public, please.
Because no one sleeps there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was going to ask you, well, what defines a home? But I guess that's a different question entirely. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but obviously with a lot of different ways to play this game, it seems like you have room for different endings.
Yeah.
Is that something players can look forward to?
Yeah,
Without giving any away?
There are different endings. You won't know which one they are or many. But yeah, the player will have the ending he deserves according to the path he has followed during the game.
Yeah.
Do you find it more difficult to play as a pacifist in that you're constantly tempted to kill and you just have to not? I mean, I know when I have that option to play a good guy or bad guy, it's very hard for me to be either. As you guys said, it's not black or white. It's very gray.
Yeah.
So is there a sort of a leniency towards how gray that ending can be for, say, a player that wants to be good but then occasionally kill a guy?
What you can do is try to do it like Dexter. You know?
Right.
You only kill the bad people.
Yeah, you have rules.
Yeah. So you can investigate on the people to discover who is really bad, who is an assassin, who is a murderer, and focus on those characters.
Now, tell me about this character we're looking at right here, because he's very scary to me.
Yeah. This is Sean. He's a kind of saint who manages a night asylum to provide food and rest to the poorest. But he has recently turned into a skull creature. And he has fled away from the hospital where you were taking care of him. And you were tracking him through London, so you finally meet him. And you believe that he has killed another patient when he ran away from the hospital. So you are here to judge him. But you've discovered that he didn't have killed this character. But he is turning into a kind of creature. He is eating raw flesh, human flesh. So something weird is happening.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
So there's almost a significant amount of detective work to be done in this game, too.
And you will have a choice to make at the end of this cinematic, as you will see. You can spare this guy, his life, or you can kill him. And there is a third option, which is always a hidden option, if you take time to investigate and collect all the hints on this character.
Yeah, and this guy is very important. He's the community pillar of the whole area in the game. So, as you said, he manages a dispensary, a night asylum. And obviously, if you kill this guy or take his life, it will have a huge impact on all the citizens living in the area.
Yeah. What could happen, for instance, is more diseases are more likely to spread.
Oh, wow.
And that will lower the citizens' blood quality. And the blood quality is important because it's the higher the blood quality, the more XP you get if you decide to kill.
Yeah, you don't want this guy's weird, dirty blood.
Yeah.
So now, when you let players play this game, do you find them leaning more towards pacifist? Are they urged to kill? Like how are people that now that this game is sort of like you're actually letting people get their hands on it? How do you find they're interacting with it? Are they good? Are they bad?
What do you mean?
Like, are they playing a mix of like nice guy, or are they just killing everybody?
There's a lot of variety. Each person approaches the game as he sees fit.
Yeah.
And
there's no good or bad choices. It's only options.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better because I
don't want to judge players.
Good. That's very good to hear.
We won't judge you. Yeah.
So when is Vampyr out?
November this year.
On which platforms?
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
All right. Well, that's Vampyr. It's out this November. You can decide if you want to kill everyone or spare them. But either way, you need some blood. IGN Live continues all week long for E3, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.